Hello everybody, it's Hannah and welcome back to 2P HetaOni Chapter 1 Text Adventures. When we last left off, we're still, I think we're about halfway, but we still have a lot more endings to definitely get through. And we just killed England and China by removing a blue butterfly. That's right. Makes you wonder in the game. Good thing that my dumb butt didn't interact with those things that early on. I would be morally screwed. But hey, creator of 2P HetaOni, if you're watching, Star Power, or one random name indeed, same person. If you're watching and you are thinking of recreating the game, if you have the game file still, I would 100% look into just recreating all these blue butterfly endings. Just have a cutscene. If you can. I know that's a lot to ask for, but like, oh my god, that'd be so cool because dumb people like me are like, is that a filler? What's this blue butterfly doing here? Like, this would totally give a new representation to the idea. You don't have to add everything, like certainly you don't have to add the one outside. You don't have to add the one in the foyer, but when Japan's walking around, that's totally when you should add the blue butterfly. Sequences, just to give the player some idea of responsibility, that when China and Russia pick up the blue butterfly, that's when we're able to actually touch and interact with blue butterflies. It would also make dumbasses like me a lot more careful about touching butterflies when we're not supposed to touch the butterflies. So, Japan's inside in second relief. On the second door, he discovers a locked door. Once again, he fails to notice the blue butterfly. He enters the room and there's a bookshelf in the corner. All the books are black. He takes a book off the shelf and flips through it. Something about escapism. He takes another book out, but a page falls. Japan places the book back on the shelf and picks up the page. Too soon, he reads. He looks down into confusion, and that was the last thing he ever registered. Something had killed him. He'd never know why or what. Germany looks at the bed and his eyes widen a little with surprise. What's that? Germany's whip? What's it doing here? He thinks to himself, pockets the item, shrugs off and continues. If the whip is here, then presumably so are his friends. So they hadn't left him. Again, he ignores the feeling of being trapped. He discovers an open door and there are more black books in the corner, but the curtain interests him more. No, the books do. And it's the same thing, so the curtain interests him more. It's shaking. He yanks it open and flinches. He can't see anything. It's black, but a person comes into the light and looks up at him. Germany? Japan exclaims. The man's a shivering mess. He says nothing, just stares. Germany, what are you still doing here? I thought you left and... Japan stops and continues staring at Germany before massaging his forehead. Germany isn't reacting to him at all. He sighs. Can you at least tell me if the others are still here? He asked. Germany continues to shake. Japan rolls his eyes and looks around the room. I'll get you a glass of water. Maybe that will calm you down. Germany doesn't reply and closes the curtain and leaves him in the room. Now, the toilet water is the one ending I do know that's going to take the longest to complete because there are two ways to go about the toilet water ending. However, we all know that you shouldn't take water from the toilet, because in the game, Japan advises against it. However, I would like to argue that that should have been an option and the consequences should have been there. Just saying. Japan enters the room again. He doesn't notice the blue butterfly. He continues to sink and turns it on. But nothing comes out. He stares in disbelief, but then soon got frustrated and hit it. Stupid thing. He mutters and walks away. He can't get water from there. He'll have to go elsewhere. He walks to the west wing again. He remembers the bathroom being there. He looks at the toilet and smirks for a moment. It occurs to him that he could give the toilet water to Germany. It'd be hilarious, but maybe he shouldn't. Should he? Take the toilet water. Japan smiles and takes the toilet water. It's too good of a chance to miss. He hurriedly makes his way back to Germany. Once he gets there, he tears the curtain open again. Germany, I brought you some water. Drink it. Japan orders, holding out the water. To his surprise, Germany is no longer shaking. He seems able to speak. Is that water? He asks after looking at it suspiciously. Japan stares at him, frowning. No, it's a whale. Just drink it already. Germany hesitates before reaching out for the glass, before slapping Japan's hand away, at least at the last second. I don't trust you. You drink it, he demands. Let's start with don't drink. That's always a good way to do this. Japan looks at the glass a moment before thrusting it into Germany's hands. Just drink it already. Just drink it already, he orders. Germany looks away. Fine. He mutters hesitantly and takes a sip, not tasting anything fishy. He finishes his glass. Thank you, I guess, he says, handing the glass back to Japan. Japan doesn't take it. Instead, he's covering his mouth with his hands. Are you smiling? Germany asks. Japan shakes his head before turning back to him. He removes his hands and the smile on his face. He's coughing to suppress a laugh. So, Germany. He looks back at Germany, but he looks like he's in a men's place. Germany? He looks at the empty glass. Germany is gripping his stomach. What did you put in that? He demands. I can't. I can't. He continues, and then falls to his side. Japan runs up to him. Germany? Germany! He asks. He frowns. So the toilet water. Definitely not drinkable. But his reaction was more similar to being poisoned. Hey, Germany, stop playing dead and get up, he says, shaking him. He doesn't react, but it seems to take a little longer than usual for him to recover the poisoning. It must have been quite strong. Germany? Japan asks. He sits down and waits. He'll come around, Japan says as he waits. Several hours later, Germany hasn't moved. Japan curls up in the ball. He can't accept something. Some sort of horrible... He doesn't mind people dying, but he doesn't want to die. He'll come around, Japan mutters, staring into space. He'll come around. Now we're going to drink the toilet water. Like I said, this is going to take the most effort to do. Japan looks at the water in his hands. Perhaps he could pretend to take a sip. He brings the cup to his hands, but doesn't open them. He suppresses shivers at the thought of touching toilet water. He brings the cup down and holding it out to Germany. There. See? Nothing, not poisoned or dangerous in any way. What if you already taken the antidote? Germany says quickly. But Japan simply shoves the glass into his hands. Just drink it already, and then they go through the same reaction. Like I said, it would have been 30 times better to have this interaction within the game. I promise you, because the two Ps are just that evil to each other, that would have been thoroughly hilarious to get through, and I would laugh my ass off. I'd probably cry as well, but let's be honest here. Alright, don't take the toilet water. I think glancing into the mirror just gives you more things to read because you're still giving the water to Germany, so I will be clicking on that. Japan shakes his head. No, he's not a childless nation. Such jokes were beneath him. He continued onwards. There's a mirror in the sink in the toilet room. He looks at the mirror. It's dusty. He can't see himself. He turns on the tap. Water comes out. Not much, but it was better than nothing. At least this one's working. He mutters and fills the cup that had been next to the sink. As he takes them, he briefly glances at the mirror. He almost dropped the glass. Staring back at him it is and isn't him. The color is wrong. The mirror is oddly clear. He has brown eyes and is wearing almost white instead of black. His hair is slightly brown opposed to the pure black hair. He blinks and the image is gone and all he sees is a dusty mirror, so dirty he can't see himself. He sighs and continues, getting the mirror before leaving and going to give the water to Germany. Japan enters the room and opens the curtain. Germany, I brought you some water. Drink it. Holding out the water. To his surprise, Germany is no longer shaking. He seems to be able to speak. Is that water? He asks. After looking at it suspiciously, Japan just stares at him, frowning. No, it's a well. Just drink already. Germany hesitates before reaching out for the glass. Before slapping Japan's hand away at the last second. I don't trust you. You drink it. Japan sighs and closes his eyes. Fine, after he says with a pause. Honestly, it's nice to know I'm so trusted, he adds before taking a sip. He holds the cup out to Germany. There, see? Not poison, no dangerous in any way. What if you already took the antidote? Germany says quickly. But Japan is fed up with his childish demands and shoves the glass in his hands. Just drink it already, he orders, and Germany looks away. Fine. Thank you, I guess, he says, and handing the glass back to Japan. Japan doesn't take it. He walks away, mustering the room. I've seen you come down now. Care to explain what happened? He asks, looking around. Again, Germany looks away. I'm not sure. At any rate, we ran for our lives. I don't know where they ran. Germany falls silent and looks down. Japan massages his forehead, doing the best to ignore his growing frustrations. Thank you for your helpfulness, he says dryly. I'll go look for him. You stay here. Thanks. I don't want to hear it. Stay out of sight. Hang on, Japan. Japan looks at him expecting. I am bound. Germany, not finding his words, gives up and takes out a key, showing to him. Found this, he says. Japan walks over and looks at it. This is all Japan says before taking the key. As I said, stay at the site. Japan leaves the room, goes to find the door that the key will fit into. I cannot talk. There are 3 of them. Mwahahaha. I think 2 of them are the exact same. But I'm going to take a real quick sip of my Fanta. Not Fanta, it's Faygo, but... You, sir, calm down. My dog got all excited because I'm drinking. Alright. After some searching, he finds the key that the door fits into on the first floor. But sadly, it's not the front door. That would have been too easy. He opens it. It creaks. Most doors do. He looks around the library. It's filled with more black books. The door closes behind him. He looks behind and quickly tries to open the door. It opens. He sighs in relief. Must have been the wind or something. He also has the key. No need to be worried about being locked in. Right? He walks further into this library. He feels like he's being watched. He walks around the library but sees no one. Paranoia. Japan mutters under his breath. But he doesn't see the blue butterfly painted on the wall. He sees books. He could take one. And he does. And it's too soon. But he shouldn't. He dismisses the feeling. Taking the book. Something about dissociative identity disorder. Having finished the book, he puts back. He has better things to do. He looks around. There are more bookcases, but there isn't much but a large table. He walks over to it and looks things over. Just a few more books and paper. Then he sees something rather odd and picks it up to examine it. This is an ordinary rice ball. What's it doing here? There's suddenly a creaking sound. Japan stands up, alert, his hand immediately reaching for his katana. Hello? Hello. Italy. Pasha? He walks over to where the noise is coming from. As he walks around the corner, he sees it. It's a giant. It's the gray giant from earlier. It's running towards him. It looks more terrifying up close. Luckily, his body doesn't paralyze from unknown fear. He runs away. Do not mess with my headset, dog. He runs away, running to the door. Something told him fighting would be pointless. He finds the door, locked. But I didn't lock it. Japan thinks. He reaches for the key in his pocket, only to find that missing too. For a moment, it feels like he can't move. But his mind's still racing. He manages to focus on searching for the library key. It must have fallen out of his pocket or something. The thing is upon it. He dodges it, taking out his katana and slicing between his legs. The thing groans and falls forward. Japan sliced his dick. In an attempt to catch him, he slides beneath the thing and runs away, searching for the key. If it had simply fell out, which it must have, it's lying on the floor somewhere. The thing, it stopped running. Why has it stopped running? It's walking like... Japan continues to search for the key, never minding what the thing is up to. Finding the key is more important than figuring out what the thing was doing, other than attempting to kill him, which is simply impossible. Japan finds the key on the floor and grins. Yes! He yells. The thing looks up and suddenly starts running. Japan runs too, but it catches him by the shoulders. Still, Japan ignores the fact that he is, by all means, caught and continues running. The epaulets on his shoulder are torn off as a result. I guess those are like the shoulder patch things, like the shoulder guards. He runs for the exit, fumbling with the key. Why his hands are shaking? He tries to still them. The thing is approaching, but he ignores the danger. The thing isn't important. Unlocking the door and leaving is. He managed to get the key and hurries unlocks it. He slams the door closed, and it shuts behind him. He leans against the door as if it is enough to stop the thing from getting out. He leans against the door and tries to even out his breath. Once he's calmed down, he holds his head in his hands. What on earth is that thing? He mutters, sinking to his knees. Chapter 1 is complete. So, yes, like I said, this is so cool. So cool. Like, you would not believe the epicness of this. But I mean, like, text adventure games are like this, where they're so visual in the way that they're both visual and non-visual, which gives you such an idea. Like, you feel like you are part of the game. You are sunk in by the characters. Like, Japan, like, you can visually see in HetaOni what happened to Japan in that moment where he says, what is this? What the fuck is this? What is the fuck of the creature before him? And you can see China's fear as he looks to see his friend dead as a doornail before dying himself. Then there are moments like Italy feeling betrayed that Prussia just left him to die, Prussia. Are you serious, Prussia? Ugh, probably the number one thing that pissed me off. Then you have like Russia, who abandons his scarf because Japan was unable to protect them. Like I said, To Be HetaOni is probably one of my favorite HetaOni imaginings. This is a great backer to the idea. If the original creator continues to be HetaOni, I would love to see some of these ideas implemented because it's the same person. Star Power and One Random Name Indeed is the same person. And it would be so cool to see all these ideas that they have put down into action. Like cut scenes of just little snippets of this. These dying sequences to make you feel more in danger, to make you think of your choices, and to make the game feel much different than HetaOni, because in HetaOni you're like, it's very linear. It's very hard to kill your characters unless you're stupid or you're trying to kill them. But it's very hard. However, there's things like this where it feels like you can easily kill the character. It's so easy to kill the character, you don't even realize that you're killing the character till it's much too late. That would be so much cooler. Anyways, that's all for this episode. Thank you so much for watching. My name is Hannah. I hope you all have a wonderful day. Bye!